Both Nottinghamshire and Somerset couldn't have asked for much better days on the first day of their crucial LV County Championship match at Trent Bridge. Both need bonus points and both earned some, while the team they need to fail to win, Derbyshire, were finding things tough down the A52 against Warwickshire. Marcus Trescothick called correctly at the toss and inserted, and it didn't take long for his bowlers to put his side on top once that Stephen Mullaney and Ricky Vessels had opened up with a stand of 18. Vessels was the first to go in the morning's sixth over as he edged a pumped-up Jamie Overton behind to go for 7. With a total on 40, he was followed back to the pavilion by Mullaney, who'd made 17 when he was bowled by a ball from Lewis Gregory, which he decided to shoulder arms to. Gregory also had James Taylor out to a ball he had no interest in playing, as the former England man was out for a duck, which left the home side on 42 for 3. Needing a 7 bonus point draw to guarantee their safety, this was hardly the start the Yorkshire Bank 40 winners wanted, but the man of the match from Lords, Samit Patel, then looked to get his side back on track. But he lost his off-stump to Alfonso Thomas when on 16, and Notts were now 4 down with only 76 runs on the board. What both sides needed was a high-scoring draw, and as if to help, that one side of the ground had a short boundary, which David Hussey and Michael Lum tried to take advantage of when they could. They desperately needed to establish a partnership, which is something they did, as both went on to score excellent hundreds. Hussey's coming in his final match for a county he's represented for 10 years. While Lum defended as if his life depended on it, Hussey played his most fluent innings of the summer. He took 4 fours off one Gregory over half an hour after lunch to reach a fantastic 50, which was made off 74 balls, his boundary count already up to 10. Keeping his side in the top flight would be a great way for him to end what has been a superb spell in Nottingham for the Australian. Lum was only in the mid-20s by the time that Hussey reached his mark, but the left-hander also moved on as he began to get on top of the Somerset attack, one which had lost its potency a bit once the shine had gone off the new ball. And so Lum reached his own half-century from the 142nd delivery he'd faced. He got it with his 7th 4, a slightly streaky one off Peter Trigo, in the over after his side had earned its first batting bonus point. Thanks to these two, things were beginning to turn in Nottinghamshire's favour. To be fair to the former Hampshire man, his innings was overshadowed by Hussey's. His time with the county has not seen him hit his very best form this summer, especially in the LV County Championship, but he was finding it here, producing some stunning shots all around the wicket. Notts were also helped by Overton. The umpires removed him from the attack in the 59th over. He was ordered to come off due to excessive short-pitch bowling and a beamer earlier on in the day. This turned out to be his last delivery of the innings. With him out of the attack, Hussey was able to complete his first 100 of the summer, and what a time to get it. It was a high-quality knock from the 36-year-old, who I'm sure will miss his beloved Trent Bridge, a ground he's often called the best in the world. He needed only 144 balls for this ton, the 43rd of his first-class career, his 23rd for Notts. He'd peppered the boundary rope, hitting it on 16 occasions. The ECB had sent Tony Piggott to Nottingham as a match referee to ensure that there was no collusion between the two teams to send Derbyshire down even if they win their game with Warwickshire. There was absolutely no sign of that as Lum moved further through the numbers as the partnership between these two became the best ever for the 5th wicket for Notts against Somerset, and this on a bowler-friendly surface. Hussey was dropped on 118 but fell 7 runs later to end the partnership on 214. He edged Craig Macheda behind at 290 for 5. Chris Reed, who batted so well at Lords on Saturday, then took his side beyond 300 for their 3rd point of the match. Before Lum, who just recorded 1,000 championship runs for the summer, the only Notts player to do so, reached 3 figures for the 4th time this season with a perfect straight drive off Trigo. Lum now has more hundreds than anyone else in the 1st division of the LV County Championship, his latest coming off 239 deliveries, that being his 12th 4. He and Reed now look to accelerate, knowing the importance of making it to 400 inside 110 overs, and Lum pulled Gregory for a maximum to move on to 107. But the bowler then exacted his revenge by trapping Lum in front to leave the home side on 341 for 6 in over number 84. Somerset, of course, also need points. They now had 2 with the ball and moved a step closer to a full allocation of 3 when Reed edged a cut off Macheda behind after making 39. Championship debutant Brett Hutton in for the injured Andre Adams, and Paul Franks then saw out the remaining couple of overs, which took their side to within 22 runs of a 5th batting bonus point. Somerset now have 14 overs to grab a couple more wickets to make both sides pleased, as long as the visitors then don't collapse with the bat on day 2.